Portia says, I agree with Jay, but most women in church won't date someone who is not hot and on fire for God and a prayer. That's real. Like I said, it just boils down, and this isn't throwing no shade. It's just they limit their pool of people to choose from. And it's like, as long as you are okay with doing that, by all means. But I'm just saying that you can't at the same time be like, there's not any men out here. Where are all the men? Like, no, it's because you have limited and restricted the type of men that you interact with. Personal choice all the way.
Yeah.
All my single ladies, what is going on? Before we get into today's video, I want to encourage you to go get your free copy of 7 Powerful Daily Prayers for Your Future Husband. It's a free prayer book that will allow you to start consistently praying for your future husband on a daily basis. All you got to do is head over to righttoreallove.com/pray and get your free copy today. There'll be a link in the description if you need it. But right now, let's get into today's video.
So why do you say that it's not probable to meet women at church or men
I'm
at church?
interested to hear that as well.
Yeah, I say it because of the numbers. That's what I'm basing it on, is the fact that the likelihood of you meeting a man at church is not going to be as great because it's not a large number of men that are going to be in your congregation, one, and then secondly, that are going to fit your criteria of what you're interested in a man. And then secondly, that is also a single man that also is interested in you. Like, you see how that number is just starting to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's the only reason why I say that when it happens, I can see why people romanticize it, because it's like, oh man, like you found a diamond in the rough. Like you found something that was almost impossible to find, you know, because that's not really common for a lot of people.
That's interesting, because I actually have a fair amount of friends who have met either at church or like through church events that is through another church. And so that's interesting that that's your experience. Mine's like the total opposite. Like my friends in Cleveland are literally like, girl, just start going to that young adult stuff. You're going to find your man. Like, cause that's how all of them found their guys. So this is interesting.
But let's be honest too, though, they're biased, because you're saying that that's the way it for them. People are always going to be biased if it's the way that it worked for them. Anybody, like if something worked for you, you're going to be like, yo, you should try that out. But you're basing it off of your own experience. Like, of course, that's, oh, excuse me, I hit the mic. But it's like, of course, that is something that you would encourage somebody else to do because it worked for you. I get it, but they're basing it off of their own experience. They're not just basing it off of being objective and looking at the entire lay of the land. And that's the only point that I'm making. Is I'm not looking at it from a biased perspective of that's what worked for me, but just looking at as a whole.
The numbers.
I'm not alone. Check out these comments here. So Tiffany says, yes, we want that fairy tale. PK says, I fully agree with Jay. Tanisha says, Portia says, I feel like a lot of men who are in church go outside of church to date. Speak on that. That's
100%. Yeah.
And she says, unless they have their eye on someone in the church. And then Tanisha says she agreed. And I think that right there is also something that needs to be talked about. Is there are a lot more women in the church who are looking for men in the church versus men in the church are not just looking for women in the church.
Yeah.
They're not.
And I absolutely. And oh no, I was gonna say I also feel like the outside of church was a good point, because I think a lot of people, a lot of men are like, yeah, I'm good on these church girls, or they might take the newbie. I think they like the newbies too, but other than that, they'd be like, I'm going outside the church.
I get you. I got a comment from Danielle I want to share before. I want to make this point.
Yes.
It's not so much the woman, whether she's a newbie or anything. This is one of those reasons why I feel like, going back to our previous discussion, is the spiritualizing of dating keeps women single as opposed to men, and more particular Christian women, because for the men, it's not about what woman in the church. It's like, no, why am I limiting my pool to just women that are in the church? That makes no sense. Like, there are way more women outside of the church that I have the potential of meeting. And that's the reason why men are more prone to date women outside the church. It's not because, oh, the women outside of the church are better. No, it's just the pool of women is a lot larger. I have the pool outside and inside. But I feel like a lot of Christian women tend to limit themselves to, I'm just searching for men that are in this one pool.
Church.
Even if it's not just your church. If you're like, I'm just looking for a man that's in church or that goes to church. Once again, you killing your pool. But I have a very different stance when it comes to like the whole dating somebody that isn't a Christian, is a Christian. Like, I feel like for dating in particular, women totally kill their dating pool when they say, I'm not dating a man unless he's a Christian. It's a total difference from not marrying a man who's a Christian. But when you say, I'm not even going to date, I'm not even going to go out and have fun, I'm not even going to get to know the character of this man just because he doesn't align with your religious beliefs. Once again, you are cutting yourself off at the knees and reducing the pool of men that you have to choose from. Just because you date somebody, get to know somebody, hang out with somebody, doesn't mean you're going to marry them. That's one of the ways that you are able to enhance your experience and get to know what things you do like, what things you don't like. Once again, I say it's not about marrying the person, but I feel like that's another place that some women tend to limit themselves. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
but now, Danielle,
and I think that it's okay. Sorry. And I think it's okay to do that, like to date casually, because that's kind of what it sounds like you're saying. I want to caution women, like, make sure you can handle that before you do that. Like, because I've been the girl who thought I could do it and I can't. So
that's real. That's real. You definitely have to know what you're doing, how serious it is. But once again, it's about how you define it again and what level of investment you're making too, right? Because if you're investing all your feelings, all your intentions in this person, then clearly you're making an investment, and you want to make sure that you're making an investment in the type of man that you do see yourself marrying down the line. And if that's the regard, then by all means, if you only want to marry a man that's Christian, then you need to make sure that before you make those level of investments, the man checks that box. But if you, like you mentioned, Krista, you have the ability to understand that, hey, like, I'm just having fun, I'm just getting to know this guy, I'm just hanging out. That's really all it is. It's like, it's not being a major investment or commitment at this point in the dating or the talking or whatever it is. Then you can go out there and have more experiences and open that door a little bit more and increase the pool. But now, this is what Danielle said.
I think if you can handle it, it's very smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did go to a mega church. You go to one of the mega churches, I'm coming, because I tell you what, the little churches don't have a selection worth going after. Missionary Susie trying to hook you up with her nephew that just got out.
Whoa. I don't know if I it's like, I don't know if I'm weird, but I know a fair amount of like genuine godly men. I don't know if that's like rare, but I don't know. So.
And they're single and emotionally available, Krista?
Some of them are. Yeah, like, I mean, I will say a lot of them are in relationships, but some of them are, and like like, I don't know. It's not crazy to me to see a godly man who's worth dating. It's not crazy to me. I don't know. But I be feeling like I'm the minority the way people be talking. Like the pool is out here, so I don't know.
Tanisha says that she's been to a mega church too, and the pickings are slim there too. The bigger the church, I have seen guys playing and dating multiple women at the church. Yeah, that's real. Tiffany says, Jay, you are scoring the inside game to dating. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Some people will catch the gems, Tiffany.
He said, I know.
Daniel, I'm trying. Don't have a selection worth going after. Facts. Got to have decent options. That's real. PK says, very interesting perspective, Jay. Most definitely. I know it's not one that's held by the masses. Not at all. Tanisha says, most of the men in the small churches are already married. Monique says, sporting events would have a lot of men. They would. They would. Step outside your comfort zone. Tiffany says, you are so right. The guy will be dating 2 or more women at the same time. That's real. Portia says, I agree with Jay, but most women in church won't date someone who is not hot and on fire for God and a prayer. That's real. Like I said, it just boils down, and this isn't throwing no shade. It's just they limit their pool of people to choose from. And it's like, as long as you are okay with doing that, by all means. But I'm just saying that you can't at the same time be like, there's not any men out here. Where are all the men? Like, no, it's because you have limited and restricted the type of men that you interact with. Personal choice all the way.
Yeah.